Good evening and welcome to a regular meeting of the Ulysses Town Board. It is September 9th, 2025, and I will call the meeting to order at 7:01 p.m. May we please have a roll call?
Yes, you may. Mr. Boggs.
Present.
Ms. Bouchard.
Present.
Present.
Mr. Goldman. Ms. Weatherby. Present.
Thank you. We do have a meeting agenda that was posted. I'm hoping that we can add on a couple more items. One was just a deficiency to add after the public hearing, include community funding request presentations. We have one in person and one recorded one. So if we could add that after public hearing between 4 and 5, the new 5. And then I became aware that our zoning enforcement attorney is leaving Coughlin and Gerhardt at the end of this week. And he will be joining us later in the meeting, but I would like to look, and he is actually joining our general counsel's firm. And so I'd like to, under new business item B, add consideration of moving legal services from Coughlin and Gerhardt for those two. We only have 2 cases with Coughlin and Gerhardt, moving them over to our general counsel's firm. Because that attorney is going over there. So those are the items I would say that would be B under new business. Are there any other alterations or changes needed for the agenda? Okay, then motion to approve as amended. Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. All those in favor? Aye. Okay, that brings us to privilege of the floor. It doesn't look like we have anybody online tonight right now.
Nope.
So we will not go back and forth. Is there anybody in person who wishes to address the town board? May have up to 3 minutes. Okay. Then we will move on to our public hearing on the drinking water source protection plan. May I have a motion to open the public hearing? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Got I like this back and forth. Thank you. Okay, we're public hearing. Anybody who wishes to address the town board may have up to 3 minutes. And I will get my timer going when they start. Is there anybody who wishes to address us?
We're just here to answer questions.
Well, I'll keep it here for another little bit. Do we have any email comments?
We did not.
Okay, well, there you go. Okay. Well, seeing as how there's nobody online, and
Move to close the public hearing.
thank you.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Okie dokie. On to municipal board and staff reports. I see we don't have a county update. It doesn't look like right now. So we can move on with other committee reports. Is there anything from either of your committees that you'd like to report on?
No. Just a question on this actually. So I don't know if the board has had a chance to look at it. It hasn't gone to DEC yet. It's in the process. I guess there's a lot of materials that Jacob had to send all the GPS files and everything in a certain format, and he didn't know that, so it's almost done. But in the meantime of when the board wants to consider it, if you have any questions at any point that you want us to come and answer, or if there's a mechanism for doing that, so that once we gather the DECs too, we can move forward, just, let us know.
Sure.
So.
I was talking to in our conversation with our attorney today, and it sounds like it might be a good idea for us to formally send it to the planning board, because there are site plan review considerations. That might be a good opportunity to make sure that they review and consider.
Well, you keep rescheduling. I was going to go over it, but yeah, the plan was to go over it with them. So yeah, I agree, because they may have some input or
Yeah.
upgrades to make.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I mean, I've spoon fed some of the stuff lost along, so a lot of the plan stuff came out of issues that we've had in the planning board. So that,
Can that happen at the next meeting?
it hopefully. Comp plan has kind of
Yeah,
gotten in the way. We're trying to help out with that as
Right.
well. So that's why it got rescheduled. It was supposed to be last meeting, but we didn't have one this week because, or last week because of the holiday. Being too close to. Yeah, so, so I'll make a point and make sure it's on the schedule,
Okay.
you know.
it'd be helpful if we formally requested it, or
Sure.
you feel like, I mean, I don't know, I'm not sure,
Yeah.
it's really, would that be
Yeah.
helpful to you? It's.
Yeah, probably would.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Sure, that I would move that, we refer, it to, planning board. Do you wanna do zoning appeals also, a courtesy, or, do you wanna just send it to planning board for review and feedback?
It doesn't hurt.
I was gonna say, probably
Sure.
just to.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, so let's, so I'd move that we send it, to, planning board and BCA for, review and feedback.
Yeah, that'll help because everybody's busy reading the comp. plan
Of course,
stuff
Right.
and
yeah.
not Spending time on this,
Yeah.
even if this should feed into the comp
Of
plan.
course.
But.
Yeah. Excellent.
So, yeah.
Well, I'll move that. Is there a
Timing
second?
is everything.
Yeah.
Lots of reading going on right now.
Yeah. It's like back to school for everybody. including- Is there any more further discussion on this resolution? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Excellent, thank you. I appreciate you advocating for that, Linda. With planning board too.
Yeah,
Excellent,
and CSAC also has it.
Great.
And we'll-
Yeah.
Yeah, so see if they have any comments at our next meeting, so.
excellent.
Yeah.
And I see our legislator came on. Annie, would you like to join us here, right at your municipal report?
Hi there, how's everybody doing?
Good, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, just getting back in. I was at a state conference in Niagara, or Buffalo. I didn't realize it was in Niagara Falls, so I got to go to walk over to the falls, so that was very nice. So let me just grab my information here. So a couple things. We are working on our budget quite a bit the next couple of months. Right now at the county, we're looking at a 4.5% increase and possibly more. There's a couple of reasons why we're looking at that. Some is because of extra costs that we hadn't budgeted before yet for sheltering people who are homeless. And so those costs are rising quite a bit. And as I think I've said before, we're trying to work with the city on some solutions. We're looking at building a shelter, a permanent shelter for temporary housing over on Cherry Street. And let me see if I can find the sales tax. Sorry about that. While I'm doing that, congratulations on passing the resolution to receive the grounds or the land for the park. I know that's a big deal. I cannot find the sales tax numbers right off the bat. But basically, I believe I reported last month that it was up, the municipalities were up about 20%. And so sometimes there's corrections for various reasons because some of the what the state gives us are actually estimated sales tax. So sometimes it's really high and then sometimes it goes back down. So I believe that was the reason why it was up to 20% last month for municipalities, and now it was down about 1 or 2% with a correction. And I think that's about it. I mean, if one of the things that I'll just mention that I am pushing for in the budget is to keep a small amount of money in what we give to municipalities for parks and also for affordable housing issues such as infrastructure or looking at paying for consultants to look at housing issues. And so if there's anything else that is directly related to things that we're doing with the municipalities or any other topics that you can think of, let me know. And that's all I have right now.
Great, thank you. Any questions for you?
Bring up the issue of the EMS.
What specifically about it?
That should be a countywide discussion.
Yes, it's fire and EMS budget season and we're looking at, in Ulysses, we're looking at 8+% increases. And just reiterating the message, at least for me, I won't presume to speak on behalf of the board when I say this, but these are not sustainable costs. And you know, I know I'm very grateful for the county for standing up the rapid response and supporting it, and I hope that continues to happen. But I did learn today, I believe in Steuben County, the county is taking over providing ambulance service countywide. I really hope that Tompkins County can really consider that. There are different ways to do it. It doesn't mean that they provide all the, you know, they're not necessarily replacing existing ambulance companies, but it's a lot of calls that are going outside of Ulysses and Dryden or Trumansburg and Dryden. And I think we need a countywide solution to, frankly, a national problem, a national rural problem. So anyway, that's a definite pitch for me. And I know you've been a strong advocate for it yourself.
Yes.
So
Yes, and if I could add, we're awaiting the results. We had a consultant come and given us evaluation of overall county services and what the county could do. So stay tuned. I don't know if we'll have information and be able to do anything for this budget, but we really wanted to get, you know, some expert advice because some counties are, like you said, some counties are starting to do this. And we want to make sure, you know, if that's the way it's going, which, you know, it does look like that, especially since there's not as many volunteers, as you know, and the costs are increasing for each municipality. And then it depends who has service. And then you might have another area that they don't have any EMS and there's really long waits. So we are trying to look at this holistically. So we'll get back to you once we get that consultant's information in.
that's great. Thank you so much. Look forward to getting more about that. Any other questions, comments? Great. Well, thank you again for being here. I appreciate it. Does anybody else have any reports or updates that they want to provide based on their own? We're gonna Liz, I realized I was gonna put the I thought I did in fact put the update about the health consortium. Do you want to talk about that now?
Sure.
Sing it as opposed to under old business.
Trying to think of youth commission first.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the health consortium had a directors meeting, an educational session for the directors 2 weeks ago. And they're looking at an 18% increase again this year for health insurance costs. They're saying that it's a lot to do with the number of claims and making sure that they could cover claims beyond what has been expected and make sure that there's a reserve for those. So that's was kind of unexpected because last year I think we went up 14%.
14 last year.
And they had said that that was gonna be a kind of a one-time deal or to make up for prior years where there was nothing. And then all of a sudden this year we're getting an 18%. And we have more municipalities and organizations in the consortium now too. So the vote is on September 25th and Rich is gonna be there as,
I guess I think we should have a directive of how go,
yeah.
but what do you want me to vote? No, I shouldn't vote on my own.
What happens if it's not passed?
Based on, I mean, if it's not passed, my understanding is they have to go back to the drawing board.
But if-
Oh.
Kind of like a school budget, where they go back and look at some tweaks, and then they come back to the board.
And they have many, many millions of dollars sitting.
Yeah, last year they did just a hands up vote, which I thought was a little odd considering how much money was being considered. And nobody raised their hands, at least nobody that made it very obvious. So I don't know how they're gonna do vote this year, but I mean, I think. They're looking at 18, I was trying to get the chart, and I'll send you the information before, but they did. Kind of give us heads up on what they're expecting in the next couple of years too.
So how much is this is paid by us and how much is paid by the people that are subscribing to the insurance?
I mean,
So it's an
I mean, in terms of
18%
what the
increase.
municipalities cost us for our,
Yeah.
so
Our portion is 120,000,
right,
right? So
Yeah.
how much do the people in the town that subscribe to the insurance?
Well, it'd be like 10%.
10%.
So why wouldn't it be 18%?
They pay 10% of
Because
their,
we're, for
premium.
example, we're under a union contract. We can't go and increase,
Yeah, that's just 4 people that are in the union. Kind of.
right? I mean,
I
that's
mean,
what,
and then with consortium, is there any talk about raising a copay or?
that's
they
up to-
did, there was a whole evaluation of the different levels, they changed the different levels, what's covered under the different levels, but the co-pays, they did change some of the co-pays. Put some more deductibles in, so that there was a little bit more cost on the subscriber. And I have the breakdown I can share with everybody, especially because I don't know what plans everybody has. It's not my business to know what plans.
We're all on the platinum plan.
Okay, you are on the platinum plan, so I was just looking at that.
we pay 90% and they pay 10, right?
Yeah.
The platinum plan, so in-network is not changing. Your out-of-pocket maximum for an individual is going from 2,000 to 3,000, for a family, it's going from 6,000 to 9,000. So there is gonna be a $3,000 maximum. That includes all deductibles, co-insurance. Hospital stays are going up. Nursing facilities are going up. They are trying to. So. Entice people to go to urgent care facilities rather than emergency rooms. So for emergency room, the copay is going up $100 to $250. Whereas if you go to urgent care, like the new ones that are down in Ithaca, that's staying at $40. So they're trying to, unless it's like, if it's a true emergency, go to the ER. But if it's a scratch or a cough or something, they're trying to get folks to be routed to the urgency care.
We can look at raising the
employee,
10%, the employee contribution.
I'm talking as a generalization for the plans, because if the copays are too low. Right? And people will go seek medical care. When they might not really need it, right? So if you start raising the copays, when they start thinking about it. That's just as a general healthcare statement.
There's no deductible for family or individual under the platinum plan. So you can go.
You can go. Cause it doesn't cost them, right? But that's the platinum plan, we'd have to change plans, right? If we wanted
to have a
to have
deductible.
a deductible.
Well, we can't really control that. That's a consortium. We could
No,
control
we
what
could control
percentage
What percentage?
of the premium
Right,
employees would pay.
right.
Yeah, it's complicated.
It's
Yeah.
very complicated.
Are we gonna talk about this in the budget meeting? Is there,
Well, we did talk
Time.
about it a little bit.
oh, you did?
We just had a grace over it. And if you're doing the.
Just when we were talking about the highway department,
Uh,
kind of, it came up.
And they're all
looking at them.
union, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I was suggesting we look at just for our own sanity, how we compare to like a direct Excellus or Blue Cross plan, not through the consortium. But
Well, they did present that,
With the,
and I think the Excellus, just directly with Excellus. If I remember correctly, and I can't find it off the top of my head in this presentation. They're looking at a 20% increase.
and their family plans, I believe, is about $1 more than ours is.
so that doesn't. I mean, I think it's very generous that we pay 90% of the premium. I mean, most employers.
Well, yeah, I mean, how much does that actually come to?
Why? That was 10 per, if the bill is 120,000, every 10% is 12,000.
The town of Ithaca pays 100%, just so you know.
They, you know,
The town of Ithaca, will they get a lot of sales tax?
Yeah,
Based on their
right, under
population.
Actually, I know for a fact.
I don't know what the answer is. I mean,
So we should discuss, but I don't have an answer right now.
So I mean, you can talk to Blixie, we can talk to Blixie about it specifically in the budget meetings. She's opposed or has been opposed to having bifurcated plans for some employees and the union's locked in on this contract. With the current healthcare model. So a bifurcated plan gets, I mean, it's more work, it's more effort. But we can certainly have that conversation directly with
Our
her.
union is what, another year or two?
Two
Just
more,
signed it.
we signed it last year, so this current year is our first year of a 3-year contract.
So it'd be
So-
2027.
At the end of, it's through the end of 2027, so the new contract will start in 2028.
Don't they have their, oh, they have their.
Teamsters has their.
Teamsters has their own, but they're enormous. They could go to the Teamsters, which is insane. For what they say is really a great plan.
Yes, the Teamsters definitely said it was a great plan. I don't know how it compares. Yeah.
But there is a potential option.
If I recall, and I could be speaking out of turn, I believe Blixie did consider that. We did look at that plan, maybe 2 years ago. We can, we can certainly have that conversation too, in budget meetings.
I mean, I think part of this is all just costs for medical, everything is going up significantly
Yeah.
nationwide, and there's no staffing from what it seems like. So, I mean, you can ask for folks to not go to the doctors, and they had actually talked about increasing the cost for preventative screenings, which I actually spoke up against that, because you do some screenings once a year that cost you $100, or you find out that you have, say, breast cancer, that's thousands and thousands of dollars. So I know.
And the faster you catch it, the
Right.
cheaper the
So
treatment is.
they
the
did
better
look
the
at
outcome.
different ways and have played with some of the other plans as well. So they have gold, silver, and platinum, of course, is what we're under. And they have a bronze plan. So there's 4 different levels.
Well, and we also, Blixie did do the analysis when we moved to platinum, and we were actually saving money going to platinum from the gold plan. She did that analysis. That's the reason we did. What?
Seems counterintuitive.
It does, but because, and also, it was also related to, and we can, we should ask her this, we have a meeting tomorrow. But it was also the money getting set aside and the energy and effort that goes into on our side internally paying for the time to manage. Because Carissa, remind me, it was like, there was money being deposited and.
Savings accounts that needed to, there were deposits.
Right,
in
platinum.
those
No.
accounts.
Right.
So from an administrative standpoint, we save money.
And there was also cost savings to the town that she could detail. So, I
Let's
mean,
talk about that.
we did that analysis, yeah, a couple of years ago. And that was why the town board voted in favor of moving to platinum.
I'm gonna share this with you all. Oh, I was sending it to you before I forgot to do it.
Well, we could vote tomorrow, not vote, just I wanna
Discuss
That's
discuss.
what we're gonna do.
alternative.
We have one more meeting too.
Yeah.
We have a meeting on the 23rd. You won't be here though for that.
No, we have 2 more budget meetings,
Well, we have the 17th. too.
Right,
so. Okay,
alright,
great. Okay, you said youth commission, you wanted to say, Liz?
Just we had a meeting last week. To review the proposed budget. So we'll see that on the 17th, I believe, it comes to the town board with tentative budget.
Yeah.
No surprises.
No.
Pretty level.
Yep.
Still waiting to see what the county's gonna give us.
But we're anticipating
Anticipating,
flat.
Yeah.
It's looking, the budget, it's already baked into the budget, the draft, tentative budget. That was, or I'm sorry, draft preliminary budget. That we started looking at yesterday, it's looking at a 3% increase for municipal contributions for the town and the village.
after 18, that seems like the negative experience.
Right, see? Set that up deliberately like that. 3 seems very reasonable. 3 is also a degree, those are also numbers we control, which makes a huge difference. All of the escalating costs, things we don't control. So, yep, and then, what else? I've got 3 falls on the update here, so we can do that. Any other committee or activities that board members want to update us on?
Well, the bee committee is going to be at the farmer's market next week,
Love it, love it. And what's the bee committee doing?
handing out seed balls and seeds and instructions on how to make bee houses,
Oh,
and just our general, we'll be tabling with the Tompkins Pollinator Partnership. And so, there'll be lots of bee related information.
fantastic. Thank you for being there. Cool. Awesome, awesome. Okay, we want to just give a very brief update on the comprehensive plan timeline, schedule. The comprehensive plan committee has scheduled, 3 more public hearing dates?
2 officially. Well, 1 officially, the second one will be the end of October, and then we have the open house, which is October 6th, not October 4th. Just
Okay, sorry, that was me.
Monday, October 6th.
Not Saturday, October
Not
4th.
Saturday, October 4th. So we had public hearing last week. Unfortunately, nobody came. We had one person come and talk to us, kind of holistically about housing and different types of housing that could be built in here, but we didn't get too many direct comments on the comp plan sections, which we had public hearing for, which was housing, economic development, and built environment. So there are 5 chapters out for review right now by the public and the town board. We haven't gotten a single comment from anybody.
Had a comment today.
Oh, I stand corrected. Perfect.
We have a single comment.
All right, I like it. We have a comment. Making progress.
Feeling.
Making progress. And then by the end of this week, transportation and utilities are gonna get squared away with the comp plan steering committee and should be released for public review as well. We have kind of an aggressive, a very aggressive schedule to get this wrapped up over the next couple of months. So on September 24th, the day after our town board meeting, we have a public hearing, number 2, which will be about the environmental natural resources and climate change and resiliency chapters, which are out for review. And then we are going to be talking about the future land use map that have been distributed amongst the committee members. Like I said, we have an open house on the 6th. Hopefully everybody got their notices, their little postcards with the information about the public open house. We're going to be at Rackers from 4 to 7. So trying to get down to that part of the town, make sure we're covering everybody. Can stop on your way home from Ithaca. And then we're gonna have another meeting on the 8th to kind of start talking through any last minute reviews of the future land use map. Seeker documents, any key takeaways from the open house, with revised chapters looking and being reviewed and discussed on the 29th. So we're adding an extra meeting every month for September and October to try to get this wrapped up. Right now, we're looking at November 5th being our last comp plan steering committee meeting. Where we'll finalize the chapters and provide our recommendations on everything, including the seeker, to the town board to be discussed. Potentially at the following meeting, which has to get rescheduled. Or later in November, it will be kind of see how it comes up. And then once we have the comp plan in front of us with the recommendations from the steering committee. We'll have to have a public hearing, go through the seeker document, before we can even adopt the comp plan. So we're trying to move it as fast as we can. It's very aggressive. There's a lot going on. But yeah, that's where it is. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer what we've got.
That's good.
Please get comments in. Public, please get comments in.
Well, we had really good turnout when I was at the school for the open house, so hopefully we get a good turnout.
Yeah,
Public open.
yeah, I'm expecting that's gonna be a lot of hands-on.
Yeah.
Meeting, open house. I'm hoping that people come out and
Yeah.
dig into the comp plan. That's
Yeah.
what we want. We want the public to be looking at this and reviewing them.
Great. Well, let's pivot then to a couple public presentations. I would what? Yes, but I actually should have pivoted to public presentations actually first. I just kind of morphed in from committees into also the committees. So we can pivot to that and then we can do the Three Falls one. But please join us up front. And then we can do the video. Is that okay? Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you all for having me, and thank you for the invitation to be here. My name is Grayson Scheidemantel, and I'm the Executive Director of Community Science Institute, or CSI. CSI is a 501c3 nonprofit, and we're also a New York State Department of Health Environmental Laboratory Approval Program. There will be an acronym quiz at the end. Certified Water Testing Lab, with a mission to inspire and empower communities to safeguard water resources by cultivating scientific literacy through volunteer water quality monitoring, certified laboratory analyses, and education. Our organization partners with trained volunteers across the region, including right here in Ulysses, to monitor water quality in streams and along the Cuba Lake shoreline. In the town of Ulysses specifically, our Streamwatch volunteers monitor Trumansburg Creek and Taganic Creek for nutrients, sediment, pathogenic bacteria, and road salt. We also work with the West Shore Neighborhood Association to monitor E. coli along the Cuba Lake shoreline, and our harmful algal bloom harriers track the presence and toxicity of cyanobacteria blooms on Cuba Lake. Through these programs, we continue to build upon a long-term data set containing over 20 years of water quality data for our watershed. All of these data are made publicly available for free on our online water quality database. So residents, visitors, local officials, environmental agencies, and scientific researchers can stay informed about the state of our local water resources. Our work directly contributes to the health, safety, and well-being of Ulysses residents. For example, it was CSI volunteers who first alerted the public to E. coli contamination in Trumansburg Creek coming from the wastewater treatment facility, helping to ensure that residents were aware of potential risks to water quality and public health. Without our local volunteers and our state certified lab, this information and its eventual solution in 2016 might not have come to light so quickly. Aside from our volunteer water monitoring programs, CSI is the only commercial state certified lab in Tompkins County, providing regulatory quality drinking water testing services to businesses and homeowners, many of which do come from Ulysses. Beyond identifying risks, our programs also empower residents to become stewards of their own waterways. We currently have about 45 volunteers in Ulysses and more than 250 across the entire Cuba Lake watershed. Their dedication allows us to monitor about 70% of the Cuba Lake watershed in 4 counties. The funding that we've requested town will help us to continue these programs in 2026, ensuring that residents and local decision makers will have access to timely and reliable information about their water resources at no cost to participants or to the public. We believe that clean water is essential for public health, recreation, and natural beauty, of which there is a lot in the town of Ulysses. And we believe that it's one of the things that makes Ulysses such a beautiful place to live and to visit. So with your support, we can continue to provide a service that benefits everyone who lives, works, and vacations here. So thank you for your time. I want to be respectful of the time limit. And for considering this year's request as well. We're very, very grateful for the continued support that we've received from the town of Ulysses for many years. And I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have about our work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any questions? See if I.
What is the ask here? I mean, how much?
Yeah. The
I didn't see it.
It's in there.
Yep, it should be at the bottom of the second page, and it's $6,968, which is a 2% increase over what we were awarded
I
last
think it
year.
was blanked out,
Oh,
Yeah.
but it's on the
Oh.
sheet if you want to see it.
Okay.
I can give you my copy if you want.
No, that's okay. I have it. I just don't have it here.
And that ask is about 28% of the cost of monitoring in Ulysses. We make up the other part of the cost through support from county and also from fees that we earn through our fee-for-service drinking water program.
Can I ask a scientific question?
Please.
So I mean, I feel like as long as I've been a Ulysses resident, people have been hopeful that the testing for HABs could be sped up. And I remember several years ago, there was like conversation about a improved testing. So, you know, because when like the public beaches get shut down, right? There's a long delay until they can be reopened. And sometimes it is HABs and sometimes it's something that looks like HABs and they don't.
Yeah.
Is there any scientific, development on the forefront that may make that possible to have a quicker turnaround or?
Yeah, so unfortunately, it's less about scientific discovery and
Mhm.
more about bureaucracy.
Okay.
Because for the swimming beaches to be able to reopen, they have to have the water tested at a state certified lab,
Mhm.
and it has to be a state certified test.
Okay.
And there's only one ELAP approved certified test. And that's the microcystin test that we do in our lab. It's an ELISA assay, and it takes about 6 hours to do in the lab, and it takes a really highly skilled technician to be able to do it. We only have one person on staff who's able to do it. So there is some technology that's come out
Mhm.
that is fairly reliable, but the thing that would have to happen next would be for our accrediting body and DOH to get on board with accepting that method as an approved method.
Good to know. Thank you very
Yeah.
much. Frequently bureaucracy does get in the way of innovation.
Yeah,
It's a
and
process.
I will say Taganic Falls State Park, they send those samples to us
Mhm.
and we process them the same day that we get them and we get them results the same day. Any delay would come from the fact that one, they have to wait until the plume dissipates to collect the sample. So you might go to the swimming beach and see, oh, there's no bloom. Why isn't it open? It's because they had to wait 24 hours after the bloom dissipated per DOH guidelines. And then from there, we're doing the testing and getting it back. And if it is on a weekend, unfortunately, we just don't have the capacity to have staff
Sure.
over the weekend.
Understood. Thank you very much for explaining that.
Yeah, of course.
Is the alternate test something that county can push for?
I don't know because that would have to be a state level initiative. We were at one point going to be
Yeah.
partnering with Army Corps of Engineers to help them pilot some microcystin testing technology that they wanted to use, but due to federal funding cuts, that project was delayed. They were going to compare side by side with our lab, the results we were getting from the certified test, but I don't know, it was supposed to happen in 2024 and it didn't happen, and then it was supposed to happen this year and it didn't happen, so. Fingers crossed, because it was a really cool project that we were
Yeah.
excited to be a part of.
It sounds like it would be. Well, maybe we can put some,
I was gonna,
yeah. I'm sure our legislators at the state level also hear from residents wishing that they could get in the water sooner. So thank you very much for explaining that. I appreciate
course.
that. Any other questions? Great. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We
Yeah.
appreciate your time. And then we have a video, our first recorded presentation.
Hello, town entities, board members, staff, neighbors, anyone else that might be watching. My name is Jen, and I am so sorry that I can't be with you there tonight. I have been celebrating a series of milestone birthdays with my parents, and I am literally right now flying toward home. I am very excited to present to you the Creative Reset, a year of alignment. People in our community are trying to reconcile how to live in a world that feels so uncertain and challenging and heavy. People are frustrated and overwhelmed. And let's face it, it's really noisy and distracting out there. It's so easy to get pulled off our center. Not only that, we've been told that fulfillment is accessed externally, outside ourselves, in a fancy sports car, new clothes, and social media likes. But fulfillment happens when we reconnect with the deepest part of ourselves, our creativity. And this is where the creative reset comes in. And I'm not talking about painting the next Picasso or being the next Mozart. I'm talking about activating your creative brain. When we activate our creative brain, we can recalibrate our emotions. We find clarity. We feel joy. The World Health Organization did a study and they found that when people are more creative, they make healthier choices. But the problem is, most people have been conditioned out of being creative by the time they're 15. I love helping people redefine the relationship to creativity because it's through this part of themselves that they can feel authentic, alive, and empowered. How does the Creative Reset work? Let's dive into the overview. There's going to be 4 in-person workshops, 1 per quarter. Each one is going to have a different theme. The details are in the submission packet. Now, for those people that can't attend the in-person workshops, not to worry. We're going to do 4 versions that are professionally recorded, and each video is going to be broken down into bite-sized chunks, so it's not so overwhelming. And these will be available 24/7, and we'll have a lot more reach because of their availability. And then finally, I'm offering 8 virtual coaching sessions throughout the year. I love this part because each one will start with a teaching that will inspire questions, conversations, and really I can foster coming together and connecting because this is how transformation happens. It happens in community. It doesn't happen in isolation. So it's an opportunity for people to come together and to get some extra coaching and support throughout the year. I'm designing this with the intention that it's going to be interactive. It's going to be engaging. There's going to be playbooks. I like to call them playbooks instead of workbooks. There will be audio recordings, practical exercises, and tangible takeaways. The Creative Reset is a series aligned with the Town of Ulysses mission, promoting health, safety, and overall well-being. I'm very excited to help people reconnect with their creativity because when people feel clear and confident, they can move forward, and this lifts the entire community. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions at all. I'm so grateful for this opportunity to present the Creative Reset, a year of alignment. Thank you so much.
Jennifer, thank you so much. If you're watching afterwards, we appreciate you doing this. Okay, let's continue, just the last item of old business, is, just wanted to update the board directly, on Three Falls. As you'll remember, we received a grant, from Parks and Trails New York to hire, to do a master plan, for the park. We still don't have a name. It's still the park. TBD park, that's the way we're going. But Fisher was selected, and they'll be working through the end of this year to put together a plan for us. We have our first community, let's see, they're going to be at the farmers market. I didn't put the farmers market component on there. But Fisher will be at the farmers market on the 17th, the same time the bees are there. So go see the bees and then buzz on over to Fisher's table, to push information out about the opportunity to give feedback. And then on the future of the park. And then on the 27th, the Saturday, there will be a public engagement session from 11 to 2 o'clock at the farmers market, and there'll be different stations set up to go through different conceptualization activities and share information, your past experience, and if you have it with the park, with the facility, and then Fisher will have a couple other tables set up, and there'll be some snacks, and it's really a drop in and drop out. You don't need to stay for the whole 3 hours, but it's geared towards participants of all ages. And tomorrow or Thursday, we're going to be looking at the first draft of the survey that's going to be going out. And so we'll use all of our same avenues in terms of getting the survey out into the community. So please take an opportunity when it's pushed out. It'll be in the newsletter, and there'll be signs around town and things like that. Please take a time to participate. The more people we have participate, the better the plan will be. Anything else you wanted me to? We got, okay. That's the update there. And then in new business, our first meeting in November is supposed to be November 11th, which is Veterans Day and is a federal, state, and local holiday. So I was hoping you could look at your calendars to see if maybe Wednesday the 12th was a convenient date. Mondays typically are harder for staff to be pushing, especially, and I would imagine that
Okay with me.
Just the village.
the village does have a meeting on the Monday. So, okay, Michael, would the 12th work for you?
Thank you.
Okay. Then, I believe I did. Whereas, November 11th is Veterans Day and a recognized federal, state, and local holiday. Now therefore be it resolved that the Ulysses Town Board reschedules the November 11th, 2025 meeting for, November 12th at 7 p.m. I will move that. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion or comment? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Okay, and then the last item of new business, and our legal counsel is here. We can choose to come back after. We're going to go into an executive session for purposes related to current litigation. And we can do this after, but I wanted to put on there that was notified officially that Mike is going to be leaving Coughlin and Gerhart and joining our general counsel's firm. And so I have a draft resolution that I can read you. So the resolution would be resolved, the Ulysses Town Board approves the town supervisor to transfer all zoning enforcement files and cases from Coughlin and Gerhart to the town's attorney, the town's general counsel firm in DV Law. So we can talk about that after we do an executive session and invite, but because Mike is going to give us an update on our current litigation. And we can come back and do this, or we can talk about it now. Okay. We've moved all of our activity over to the new firm, except for the two cases that Mike works on. And so I would move that we move all of our,
when are you moving?
Friday.
so,
I'll start with, it's currently NDV law, it's gonna change, the name's gonna change. Effective the date that I sign the operating agreement. So that'll probably be most likely Monday. So does it say just zoning? Because it probably should say zoning and code.
sure, we can move, I can change that.
Why we would zoning.
Change at this point.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. So
Are the fees comparable? They're a little less.
Whatever Nate charges.
it's, they're down, yeah, they're down a little bit, not a lot of it, but a little bit.
We'll take,
Wherever we can get it, yeah.
you gotta pay that 18%.
So, fine.
So then it's changed to resolve the Ulysses Town Board approves the town supervisor transfer all zoning and code enforcement files and cases from Coughlin and Gerhart to the town's general counsel. So from a legal perspective, is it okay just to transfer it to the current name because we don't have a future name?
I think so,
Okay.
yeah. I'll be honest, I don't do public meetings. They and Gina do that. I do the code. They put me in court for all the tough cases. So I think so. I think that would work. And then at some point, sign a retainer with the new firm.
Sounds
You
good.
can always change it with a future resolution.
Yes, we can. But given that he's walking out the door on Friday, I wanted to make sure we had coverage Monday. Okay, so that's the revised one. So I will move that. Is there a second? Second. Okay, any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Krista, I just sent you the revised one. Okay, so before we go to executive session, budget meetings, we had one yesterday. We're gonna have another one tomorrow. These are open to the public for your listening and viewing pleasure or participation pleasure. If you want to come down, we will be here at 9 a.m. And then we also have one at 9 a.m. next Wednesday, the 17th. And then our next regularly scheduled meeting is the 23rd. We'll start looking at our preliminary budget at that point. As in broader strokes, in the big public meetings, doing the line by line right now. And then September 27th, the Three Falls public engagement session at the farmers market. And then October 6th is the comprehensive plan open house at the Racker Center. Is there a motion to go into executive session for purposes related to current litigation? Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. For our viewing public, the town board is coming back we just had executive session. I will, for purposes of related to current litigation, may I have a motion to come back to public session?
So move.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, we only have a few more items on the agenda tonight. First up from now is approval of minutes. We had August 12th and August 27th meeting minutes.
Only August 12th.
Sorry?
Are done.
Okay, sorry.
The meetings are piling up faster than I can do the minutes.
I am sorry about that.
Sat in and did the meeting. She clerked the comp plan
Comp
steering
plan,
committee
I'll
last
be
week,
doing
so
the
she's got those meeting minutes.
Oh, that's right.
She's got a lot.
Yep. Yep, and those are not short meetings. So
No, that was a long one.
that was a lot. Okay, so amending to the 12th, thank you. Is there a motion to approve or does anybody need any changes? Motion to approve? Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we don't have any budget modifications, but I do have a notification. Per the procurement policy, if I go above $3,000, but below $6,000, I inform you, we'll get that to that. Oh, we do have budget modifications. Do we?
I think so.
Okay, well, we're not there yet anyway, so we're still in. Oh, you're right. I thought Lexi had told me we were waiting. I thought she was pulling them for February, or for not February, we're just talking about February. I thought she was pulling them for October, but. For notification, I approved a $4,500 fixed cost not to exceed proposal from Tatum Engineering. This is to do the scope of services and cost proposals for creating the RFP that the town can use to install the ground mount solar at the town barn site. This was done in conjunction with working with Roxanne, and we're working with CCE to put together this, and you'll remember Tatum Engineering did the actual look to see if we could actually do a solar array, and now they're going to help us do the they're going to help us put together they're going to put together the RFP for us, and the rating rubrics, and then we'll take it out to bid, and then we'll select we'll go through a group of us will go through the process of making recommendation to the full town board, but this is moving that process along. Okay, and then we have budget modifications. A fund, parking lot facilities, and recreation summer camp, increase in summer camp staff, and was pulled out of the contractual for recreation. And then in the SW1 fund, more water sales means more water purchases, and so those were increased. Any questions about budget modifications? Okay, I accept a motion to approve the budget modifications as presented.
Motion to approve the budget modifications.
Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. Any discussion or comments? All those in favor? Aye. And then, payment of audited claims. Anybody have any questions about them?
No, it's just one that you need to sign.
Which one did I miss?
Sideways.
Jacksonville.
communities.
Ah, that's so
Talked
funny. We
about it.
talked about it. I just didn't get to the signing part. Thank you. Okay, I'll make sure I find that one. Thank you for catching that. We had a conversation about it for sure. The resolution, thank you, Krista, for putting it together. Resolved that the Ulysses Town Board approves payment of audited claims number 431 to 472 in the A through SW funds for $104,342.35, and voucher number 11 in the HA fund for $750.50. Their motion to approve. Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Well, we would be back to privilege of the floor if we had a public in person or online. We do not. So, Rich?
To adjourn.
Second. There we go.
With much relish.
Move to it.